I cannot give you numbers, only vague estimations. That's the only thing.
Okay. I don't think I'll ask for numbers, actually.
No, I figured. But still. It's from 2004 and there was a small developing market. I mean, Hoogborn itself is much older, but in its current state with organic food and care farm combination is from 2004. And there was a small but developing market for organic food. And it's part of the campus, part of the university. And from there on, it was, the idea was started. There was a need for long-term care, so therapy that doesn't last 3 weeks but lasts half a year, which wasn't painting or talking but was working, and the idea was that that's healthy. So the group of people that started it started mainly from the care angle and not from the food angle, but, and this is where the twitch is, if you have 30 people in therapy that are getting healthy from working on the land, it allows you to make them weed and not use pesticides or chemicals.
Okay.
And suddenly organic farming was economically viable because of the care input, because of course you get paid also to give these people a meaningful and caring day in which there is A, work, but B, attention for personal development. So you don't treat them as normal employees. Now that concept developed slowly into what it is now. So that was the original angle.
Okay. So the shop then, because you guys sell food as well, right?
Yeah.
What type of food are you selling?
Hans started with a bag of potatoes in the shed. That was it.
Wow.
And that's him actually. It's by accident that you see him. And it gradually grew over time. About 11 years ago, Sabine joined in. She was doing an internship here and stayed. Now she's actually the veteran employee. And she had much more a vision of Hans really saw it as a vegetable shop, and she also expanded it into the regional shop. So the cheeses and the beers and the wines that are from around this area, and the meat. So these two parallels slowly grew, and it basically something works or something doesn't work, and then you 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, into what it is now. We really feel like what we sell is 100% everything organic, best of the best quality. So if something only has the slightest spots on it, it's chicken food. We give it to the chickens, and we really keep super small stock because if I run out of lettuce, I can just walk to the land and get it fresh. That idea to really keep super high quality, that's one. And what we, as much as we can from ourselves, and what we cannot get from ourselves, we buy from as close by as possible. And usually with very long-term agreements between us and the other farmer. The extra eggs, the white ones, are here from Barneveld, and we're doing business with Paradise, which is another care farm. Different concept, but similar, for 10 years. So long-term deals, so we don't have to haggle over the price. We don't get these fluctuations with supply and demand. We just have an agreement, simple.
Okay.
We do that with the bell peppers. They come from one farmer that knows the whole year in advance what we want from him, so he can anticipate exactly how he plans his year. It makes it easier for him, cheaper for us, and that's the deal. So that's kind of the concept. And then those are the veggies, and then the local products. Some products are not SCAL certified, which is the Dutch highest level of organicness. And we kind of, it's not really allowed, but if you put it on a separate corner in the shop and you're open about it, it is. We we call that the regional products, and we really make an effort to give a podium to the fair trade coffee we have there, a podium for the local brewery, podium for the local honey. Those are from Bennekom, the asparagus. Those are all organic, but the certificate is just way too complicated to get for them.
Yeah.
Way too. So, in any given order, as organic, yes, 100%, high quality, super fresh, and as local as possible. Now the bananas is a bit complicated. That's a compromise.
Yeah.
Between the modern consumer and. So yeah, that's kind of what the plan.
Okay, so you think that the Hoogeboren kind of facilitates this a local network of farmers and producers and connects those with consumers?
I think we are one of the biggest hubs of these products, yes.
Okay.
Even Cardoon, Groene Kamer, 2 other organic shops nearby, they get their vegetables from here.
Okay.
So, and Honspol, which is an organic butchery with absolutely wonderful meat in Driebergen, we deliver, they sell veggies and we make sure that they get the veggies from us and we buy the meat from them.
Okay, super.
Yeah, so the mill, the organic products from the mill are of course here in the shells, but we sell the eggs to the mill. The cakes that Columbus bakes sells in the shop are baked with eggs from here and then flour from the mill. So yeah, why it works is because we all know each other. You don't get haggling over a bill that is unpaid. It's just, so yeah.
Incredible. Do you think that the global food system as it is, or the dominant food system as it is, has contributed to the crisis itself, or in some way or another?
Well, we're hauling an awful lot of stuff around the world. That probably helps. But to be honest, no. Yes, we fly a lot of food around the world, but that's only a fraction of all cargo. So I wouldn't say it's a crucial factor.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. The connectedness of the Netherlands, the extreme distributions that we do. Yes, it's a lot of food, but all other materials as well. So.
Yeah. Okay, but you think it's perhaps vulnerable to, like, more vulnerable to these crises compared to the network that you have built here, like locally?
No, but even here, if only one person went on holiday to northern Italy and then worked in the mill, you can have a giant epicenter of corona in Wageningen by accident. I'm really surprised that it didn't happen, by the way, with the students.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised
so
too.
that would have been. So again, yes, but and with that 1,000 other factors. So
Okay.
I do know that there's theories that the virus first originated and got a chance to spread on the Chinese informal meat market, but I didn't see any strong confirmation of that yet. And the farmer in me wants to believe it, and that we do a much better job at being local and hygienic. But the scientist in me simply has to reject that theory until it's proven hard. Sorry.
That's
it's
fine.
I'm still like a hybrid in this.
That's fine. But I mean, obviously, your work has been affected, no, by the crisis itself, or things have changed.
Massively. 2 things. The first week, actually, we were on the rise before the crisis already, in the sense that it got busier and busier in the shop. If you look at what happened in that week of Hamsteren, there was 1 week where everybody started stockpiling toilet paper.
Yeah.
That was where here we were completely unprepared. We did not have the organizational capacity to deal with such a flood. I mean, we're a very small volunteer-run shop, and we simply do not have the manpower.
No.
I have to say, it was the customers that really helped. Where in the shops people got like greedy. With us, people were really patient.
Oi.
Yeah. I was afraid of that. That might
It's
happen.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah. So, at first it was, we really didn't know what hit us. I
Okay.
mean, but to give the best example of where I want to be thankful to the customers, what really happened in that weekend of customers was a Saturday, and I got an old lady waiting in line. She enters the shop and goes, "Sir, is this your two lettuces, your last ones?" And I'm like, "Shit, here we go."
Yeah.
It's only 12 o'clock. We still have 2.5 hours of
Yeah.
opening time. And it's like, shit, here we go. You know, and that's one thing in this business is basically make sure you never ever have to say no.
Yeah.
Make sure you have it. And I said, I'm afraid I would have to admit those are my last two. She says, oh, that's very good to know. And I'm thinking she wants 3.
Yeah.
And she says, because then I will only take 1 and leave the other one for the mister behind me.
Super.
Thank you, Hogeborn customer.
Yeah.
So, and then of course there's the organizational aspect. We have to make. We couldn't run this terrace anymore. We really, because of the line got so huge, because our turnover. I mean, the amount of customers doubled. Basically, Christmas records. If that was 100 customers, we now have a daily 120. On that, you know, where we used to run at 40 customers a day.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. So what I started doing is make an entire outside shop. So outside I have the space. It was nice weather, but there's also double the amount of work.
Mm.
The amount of administration doubles. The amount of restocking doubles. Our cooling wasn't big enough anymore. So completely dependent on the volunteers. That was the other thing. At that moment, we really didn't know how dangerous it would be to work in a shop. And I get paid to take the risk. Not
Yeah.
much, but I get paid. But my volunteers don't. I'm responsible. So I called all of them volunteers. I said, I want you to think about it for one night. Don't answer me now. Answer me in the morning. Discuss it with your family. And ask yourself if you feel comfortable doing it. And if you say no, nobody will ask any questions. The entire team said yes. So that was the other thing that really changed. The sense of solidarity was, now it's getting less, but in the Netherlands as a whole, and especially here, was, I thought, really cool. And it really translated into a well-organized place. But the first 2-3 weeks, I worked 80-90 hours a week.
Damn.
So that, yes, it had an influence on how we run things.
But have you guys like created new networks or met new suppliers because of the increased demand, or like grown that kind of network a bit because of the crisis, or?
No.
No.
It was absolutely the opposite. A lot of our institutional customers, so the caterings in Oldenburg, we also deliver to the catering of Unilever, Campina, Impulse, the municipality, the Woningstichting, that all stopped. So, yeah, that was, and in terms of supply, in times like these, you really don't go out there and try to find new, but you really stick to long-lasting, strong relationships you already have. It even has been a situation where some of us started helping at the bakery because the bakery couldn't handle the demand anymore, and so that he could serve us better again. So, but that's basically strengthening existing networks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What I really noticed is that people really started avoiding the supermarket. Partly because of the atmosphere. It's nasty, it's greedy, it's fearful. There's a guy in front with a big sign. Where here, I had an extra volunteer running around, and if people had to wait, the person said, "Thank you for your patience, here's free coffee." I do exactly the same. I control the amount of people in the shop, but I create a pleasant atmosphere. I'm convinced, because of the answers of the people that I got, most people say, you know what, this gives us time to slow down and reflect. So on the demand side, on the people side, I would say, I think people have learned again to take it slow, get some good veggies,
Mm.
don't buy a pre-made thing, and really just take the time to get a good dinner. You're working from home the whole day behind the computer. Taking your time to cycle to the farm is a good thing. And then taking your time to make fresh food is a good thing. So that has changed. The other thing, if you look more at the supply side, the network between the farms and the Hoyland, the Bennekom meat and cheese guys, for instance, they're strengthened because everybody noticed, hey, we got through. We managed to give the people what they want by just sticking together and work hard. And yeah, I mean, the old man from the asparagus here in Bennekom, he's 70 something. He's never sold that many asparagus. He also said, I've seen a lot of new faces. We kept the prices low. We didn't put a premium on it because suddenly we have a lot of customers. So I'm convinced that not everybody, but part of it, if the world returns to a new normal, will stick. And I think that's a good thing. In terms of local production, we never had empty shelves, except for that one hamstering Friday and Saturday. Supermarkets took weeks for them to recover. I mean, I was recovered within 2 days. Because I can call that farmer, hey, look, this is a bit of an emergency. Can you please make a special extra delivery? Yeah, sure. Because we're doing business for 10 years. They're small, flexible guys. So we adapted within 2 days. And I think that proven that it's because it's not a giant, we can much easier fix it.
Yeah.
You know? And in terms of care, that was a major hit because I lost half my workforce. That was really, now we're talking about the food side, but here it's the hybrid between the care and the farm. That's the magic. That is why we can do it organically, because we have, almost free labor.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And personally, has it changed your mindset, like about your work?
Yeah, I was able to call my mom and say finally, after a lifelong of being a searcher, like, Mom, I'm doing a vital job.
Ah, nice.
You get WhatsApps from everybody like making jokes like quarantine day 28. I'm like, what are you talking about quarantine? All I want is to sit on my couch for a second.
Okay.
Honestly, we're gonna do a barbecue with the volunteer team, with the whole group, as a giant thank you. I mean, they work their asses off for free, not without risk, and yeah, I think with the team spirit and everything, we really put something on the map. And I think, of course, the first 2 weeks everybody fled away from the supermarket. That's luck. It sounds silly, but the corona, that was luck. But if they keep coming back, and they do, after 3 months, then it's not luck anymore. Then you did, as a volunteer team, but also as a network, you got it right. So I'm really proud of that, and I have to say there's a certain sense of satisfaction that our business as a whole was seriously threatened because we lost the income from the care. And if you calculate 30 clients, 8 hours a day that you get paid for, that's a whole lot of letters you have to sell.
Yeah.
So, but by making the Hogeborn, the shop run really well, that damaged dampened the blow.
Okay. Yeah.
Kept the thing viable, because for instance, the bakery in town center, he's near dead. He didn't have a volunteer team like that. He didn't have. So not everybody survives. It's, yeah.
But I mean, do you think the corona crisis can be some sort of disruptive moment to
system
change
shock.
things? Or exactly, like shock the system in a certain way, or at least change your understanding of how things change and how
I don't think that the vast majority of people will just go back to the supermarket, and the vast agricultural system will simply return to its original state, I'm afraid, if it was only due to Corona.
Mm.
But the nitrogen crisis is happening again. We forgot about it. But just before Corona, highways were blocked almost weekly because of protesting farmers. And I think we as a society misled them into an industry that maybe lost its right to exist. Or at that scale. You know, there is a place for it, but not the dominant one. I think the audience, the public, is more willing to pay a little bit more for much more higher quality food because of what happened, and combine that with the climate change plans of the Dutch government and the EU for a bit. And I think the combination of it is our best chance for structural change, a system change. Well,
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah. But for us, I think, and also Hans Klaassen with his 15 years of experience, we have very good reason to believe that what was the old 100%, let's say a good week, will from now on, for years to come, be 130, 140%.
Okay.
We were struggling to get maybe 2% or 3% more. Now it's 100, let's say 150 in relative numbers. That won't stay, but it will sink back. But then still, that's plus 30%. Normally, that's years and years and years and years of building. I think that now that won't go away. We had this before. We had a fipronil crisis, which is a toxin in the eggs of de-lysing toxins.
Okay.
Those customers came en masse to Hogeborn from that moment on to buy organic eggs. They never left. So the silly thing is, every time there's a system shock, like a large crisis, we massively benefit. We're a bit like a vulture. But yeah, and so I have, at least on Wageningen level, good hope. But then on the other hand, if there's for every 1,000 customers that go to the supermarket, it's 10 going to Hogeborn, and that 10 now might have become 50. For us, that's a giant increase, but on the larger scale. So we're still tiny, but hey, every small step.
Yeah, exactly.